Hello, my name is Bene Bertocco. I am an artist who has already been very frustrated and I couldn't meet the deadlines that my clients asked me for. This is both bad for us and for the client, the issue of frustration with this. And many times you even manage accelerate and meet the deadline for this client. But you have to give up several things in your daily life, various commitments you have with your routine to be able to meet this deadline. Or many times you speed up too much. It ends up not delivering quality to the client. Then the client comes with those countless changes for you to make, and you end up losing even more time in the creation of that art. Who is an artist knows that the creation process, it's not something so simple. Because there are days when you are in that creative block that you simply arrive at the in front of the screen, gets in front of the paper, and simply you can't get out of place. But the client doesn't have this notion because it also does not live your reality. Thinking about that, with all the innovation of technologies nowadays, the emergence of these artificial intelligences. So I had the idea of what try to enhance the creation of my arts using these tools that are the artificial intelligences. And for a long time I kept testing numerous different artificial intelligences. I've already created countless prompts, detailed prompts, optimized prompts, prompts gigantic. And sometimes I even managed to get the result. But when I needed to make any changes, do any other process manipulating those images, the next images will already be totally different than what I had initially requested. Who knows my work? Know that he is characterized by lines very objective and points for texture creation and also shadow creation. And I tested replicating this in several artificial intelligences, and most of them end up transforming a lot of fissures, or ends up doing a pointillism system. That ends up straying a lot from the characteristic that is my drawing style, right? So I will give some examples here. For example, ChatGPT, where I already sent him 10 images. I asked him to describe the style, and in the textual part, you see that he can define very well what are the characteristics and what I want to convey of idea in my art. But when I ask him to reproduce this style that I asked, a pig jumping in all the AIs, as you will see. And the result, it doesn't look good. Though I keep trying to change the prompt, it does not reach a satisfactory result. I have already used some GPTs that are specific for doing the style replication, but most of them usually don't even work. Not work. I tested some GPTs that are specific for creation of tattoo arts. It even resembles the style. But you see that pointillism does not have much of the characteristic, which is my drawing style. So let's go to Gemini here, that I think is a very good AI too. I sent again there the 10 image references, and he tries to do, but it turns out that it doesn't reach the result, which is there the characteristic of my drawing. Here there are already some very small points, already gives a hint already of grating, that one has already created a lot of fissure here, made the lines more objective, but even so, did not meet the characteristics of my design. This here was the co-pilot. I found an interesting result, until I sent a single image to him. Already on the first image he ended up giving an artwork. Somewhat similar there, did the pointillism, but made the dots very small and went back again to the idea of being a whip shading. I asked him to make the dots thicker. But as you can see here, he doesn't quite understand the idea anymore, even though he understands the textual part. Asked again there, I make the design cleaner, and he brought these points here, and it turned out a bit mechanical. It didn't work, not at all there. In the characteristic hat are my drawings. And the most amazing thing is that there is an AI that all artists praise a lot, which is Midjourney. So I sent over 100 images as references of my style for her is creating, and the result, it was something that has absolutely nothing to see with my style most of the time. And I always had to define very well what I wanted in the style, even though I had already sent there the database for her to be training. So you see the pig jumping here. It ended up coming with a lot of cracks and not a bit of pointillism in some styles, and the mid-journey was what gave the least satisfactory result. Now I will show you the result that I had with this tool, that I was very impressed with the result that she brought me. So these here are the drawings I ended up creating there. And as you can see, it resembles very much my tattoo style, my drawing style, that there are the points well marked and the lines objective. But one of the things that impressed me the most about my work, it was this tool of hers to be able to take the mold of a drawing that is a mold I passed to him, but from a very simple idea, very archaic. I just mentioned more to say the limitations of where I want things. And he gave me this result. He made a wolf that he fit exactly in the proportions where I had taken the mold drawn on my client's arm. So as you can see, I stuck a tape there on his arm, which is exactly the measure of where the tattoo would fit. And here was the result of the wolf I created exactly in the mold that I sent for him to create the drawing. So here I am giving you the opportunity to also potentially enhance your day-to-day, maximize the gain of time. You won't need to stop doing various things anymore, that it is in your routine to be able to meet your deadlines, client. So you will be able to improve your quality of life. You will be able to having more time to study what you want in your art. You will have more time to evolve as an artist. And in your daily life, to reach this result, I tested numerous different AIs, and many of them sometimes asked you to have your own database for you to create a training of correlation between the data. And many times you had to have a programming knowledge. You had to define many parameters. And many times they delivered good results to me, but only in a specific type of form, a specific type of scene. And this AI that I will be passing on to you, it is very easy for you to configure. In less than an hour and a half, she will already be trained, ready, and adapted to work for you in the way you need it most. So take advantage of this course that I prepared for you. I prepared this precisely because I saw that there was this need. It was something I struggled a lot to reach this result. And I'm giving you a course that it's a super affordable price, and the time that you will save is something that doesn't compare to the value of a course. And I tell you with full certainty, which is the time of a month of your work, you will be able to optimize in 1 to 2 days of art production. So the quantity of drawings and arts in your style that you will be able to produce is something gigantic. So when a client asks you for an art piece nowadays, you will already be able to give him various versions, and surely one of these versions will already meet all the needs, what he wants from your work. So that's it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity. It's a very practical course, and I made it with a lot of care for you, and I hope to see you there in the course. Thanks, a big hug. See you later.
Hello.